Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Colorado LTAP Tailgate Talks. Today we are talking about summer heat and heat related issues, and here's why we're talking about it. Heat related deaths, yes, people die from heat, and illnesses are entirely preventable. For many of you, summer tasks include treatments with hot products like asphalt or heated crack seal products. Some of these tasks require a heated object like a torch or a welder. And all of these things can increase the temperature that you'll be working in. Maybe your job is to operate a motor or work near combustion engines that produce heat, right? Some of these big pieces of equipment that you guys are operating, um, there are multiple ways that the temperature can cause problems while you're working. And being aware of the hazards of working in a heated environment like summer and all the things that add heat to summer are crucial to staying cool and maintaining good health. We can't control the outside temperature, but there are still some things we can do to limit the adverse effects while we're working in it. Some things that can limit the ability to regulate temperature, your ability to regulate temperature, are things like your age. Like if you're up in age, that can be difficult, or if you're really young, like between, um, infant to 4 years old. Obesity can be a factor. If you already have a fever and your body's already warm, you're in trouble. Dehydration, heart disease, even mental illness, poor circulation, and people who already have sunburn or are using prescription drugs or people who are using alcohol. These can all exacerbate the situation. One of the things that can make it feel hotter outside is humidity. Here in Colorado, we don't worry too much about it, but it's not unheard of. Your body's main way to cool itself is with sweat. And when the humidity is really high, sweat will not evaporate as quickly, preventing your body from releasing heat quickly. When your body overheats, you're at risk of heat stroke. Heat stroke is extremely dangerous. Warning signs of heat stroke may vary, but will include the following: extremely high body temperature. Now, I know you're not out there with, you know, human body thermometers, and that may be difficult to determine, but you can tell sometimes by touch if a person's body temperature is elevated. If they have red, hot, dry skin, no sweating. If people who are having heat stroke are not sweating, they would have a rapid, strong pulse. Sometimes they have a throbbing headache, dizziness. They may feel nauseous, confused, or they may even become unconscious. If that occurs, if you see any of those signs, you may be dealing with a life threatening emergency. Have someone call for immediate medical attention while you begin cooling the victim. Do the following: get the victim to a shady area and use water, whatever, to cool them off. For example, immerse the victim in a tub of cold water, place them in a cool shower, spray them with, you know, cool water from a hose, sponge them if you have to, find some way to get water on them and cool them down. If the humidity is really low, you can wrap them in a cool, wet sheet and fan them. Monitor their body temperature and continue cooling efforts until the body temperature drops below, or at least to 101 to 102 degrees. If emergency personnel are delayed, call the hospital emergency room for further instructions. Do not give them alcohol to drink, but remember, it's important to get medical attention as soon as possible. This is a life threatening situation. Heat exhaustion is a mild form of heat related illness that can develop after several days of exposure to high temperature and inadequate or unbalanced placement of fluids. The most prone to heat exhaustion are elderly people, those with high blood pressure, those working or exercising in a hot environment. Heat exhaustion is typically exposure over a period of time. So watch your elderly family members or coworkers during extreme times of heat to see if they're experiencing any of the symptoms. The warning signs of exhaustion include heavy sweating. So this is the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. People with heat stroke are not sweating. They're in a more serious situation. People with heat exhaustion are at least sweating. Their body is at least attempting to cool itself down. They will be pale or have paleness. They may have muscle cramps, tiredness. They may feel weak, dizziness, again, headache, nausea, or vomiting, or they may faint. The skin may be cool and moist. The pulse rate may be fast and weak, and breathing will be fast and shallow. If heat exhaustion is untreated, though, it could progress to heat stroke. seek medical attention if symptoms worsen or last longer than an hour, or if you can't get away from the heat, call somebody. You need help. The biggest difference to watch, like I said, is heat stroke victims will not be sweating. Heat exhaustion victims will be sweating profusely. To treat heat exhaustion, um, drink cool non-alcoholic beverages, sit down, rest, get out of the hot environment if you can, take a cool shower, bath, or sponge bath, cool your body off. Find an air conditioning area where we can sit, or at least get into some lightweight clothing. Heat cramps can lead to heat exhaustion, which can lead to heat stroke. So this is a progression, right? Heat cramps are muscle pains or spasms, usually in the abdomen, arms, or legs, that may occur in association with strenuous activity. So if you're out there working hard in this heat, you may experience heat cramps. People who sweat a lot during strenuous activity are prone to heat cramps. The sweating depletes the body's salt and moisture. Low salt levels in the muscles cause painful cramps. Heat cramps can also be symptoms of heat exhaustion. If you have heart problems or on a low sodium diet, seek medical attention for heat cramps. If medical attention is not necessary, take the following steps to relieve heat cramps. Stop all activity and sit quietly in a cool place. Drink clear juice or a sports beverage to replenish your body's electrolytes and to hydrate. Do not return to strenuous activity for a while, few hours after the cramps subside, because further exertion may cause heat exhaustion or heat stroke. And again, seek medical attention for heat cramps if they don't subside within 1 hour of your treatments. So, how can people protect their health when the temperature gets high? Remember to keep cool and use common sense, right? Stay hydrated, drink plenty of fluids, and replace those salts and minerals. Wear appropriate clothing. Choose lightweight, light colored, loose fitting clothing. In the hot sun, a wide brimmed hat will provide shade and keep your head cool. Use sunscreen. If you have to go outside, be sure to apply sunscreen 30 minutes prior to going out and continue to reapply as the package calls for. Sunburn affects your body's ability to cool itself off and causes loss of body fluid. It also causes pain and damages your skin. Pace yourself. If you're not accustomed to working or exercising in a hot environment, start slowly and pick up the pace gradually. If exertion in the heat makes your heart pound and leaves you gasping for breath, stop all activity. Get into a cool area or at least into the shade and rest, especially if you become lightheaded, confused, weak, or faint. Stay cool indoors whenever possible. Find shade at the very least, even if you have to hold something over your head or over your fellow employee's head. Schedule outdoor activities carefully, use a buddy system, and monitor those at risk, and adjust the environment if you can. So those are some of the things you can do to protect yourself. All of this, so the key points here: heat-related deaths and illnesses are preventable. All of this is preventable. Heat cramps lead to heat exhaustion, which leads to heat stroke. So it's a progression. Victims of heat stroke will not sweat. Victims of heat exhaustion will sweat profusely. I want you to remember those two things if you don't remember anything else. Seek medical attention for heat stroke and heat exhaustions if your symptoms don't go away. Cooling and hydrating are key to staying safe in a heated environment. For more information, you can look at the CDC that's listed here, extreme heat, and find all the information you want about working in a hot environment. So thanks for attending the first or this Colorado LTAP safety talk. I hope you found the summer heat safety topic helpful and that you incorporate it into your daily routine. I like to leave this type of safety talk by letting people know that we don't do safety training because something tragic might happen. We do it because it has happened already many, many times over, and these are the lessons we've learned. So thank you for attending, and I'll see you next time.